Starting in the name of Allah, the most merciful, mighty and gracious to all. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and welcome to the second lecture of business ethics. In this lecture, in lecture number 2, we are going to cover 3 topics. That is the types of ethics, the subject matter of ethics, and the objectives of ethics. Types of ethics is simply known as the areas of ethics, the subdivision of ethics. While subject matter of ethics, it means that what is the connotation, what is the summary of the ethics, what we are going to study within the ethics, what is the theme of the ethics. While objectives are the aims of ethics. Now let's move to the first slide, where we are going to study the types of ethics, or sometime in some books it is also mentioned by the areas of ethics. So ethics, that is divided into 4 parts. The first branch, that is the first area, it is known as descriptive ethics. The second, it is known as normative ethics. The third, it is known as meta ethics. While the fourth, last not the least, it is known as applied ethics. Now all the types we are going to discuss into detail one by one. Now let's start from the first, that is descriptive ethics. Let me first highlight. Look at here. Descriptive ethics. What is descriptive ethics? What it says? Descriptive ethics is an investigation that attempts to describe or explain the world without reaching any conclusions about whether the word is as it should be. Now if you notice from this point simply explain that the word descriptive, it basically derived from the word description, and description simply means describing something, explaining something. So it means descriptive ethics is that ethics that where we only study the ethics, it only explains clear the ethics, it never make the differentiation, or there is no comparison. Whatever the thing is, it only explain the things according to that way. What is descriptive ethics? Descriptive ethics your bayaniya ethics da aga field da aga type the ethics je kam ke munga description matlab study ko about the standards, about the society. Like suppose general chera tasu Salam University describe kai, no tasu Salam University sanga describe koi che Salam University mission thade, Salam University vision thade, Salam University che planning sanga kai, Salam University sura department buildings lari, Salam University sura departments lari, sura faculty lari, be faculty division thade, the sura exam system is sanga de, overall studentan sura di, overall strength sura de, overall teacheran sura di. Say no, all this is only that descriptive. It means you are going to describe clear the Salam University. Same is the case descriptive ethics, aga ethics so where we are only explaining the ethics, it only describes the ethics. Descriptive ethics is the study of people's views about moral beliefs. It explains how people behave and what type of moral standards they claim to follow. These are basically the judgments about the rightness and wrongness of the things in terms of personal opinion, your people's opinion. It simply means that's the way the overall the way descriptive statistics सिर्फ और सिर्फ ethics explain कई और अगर ethics हल्को point of view ने explain कई जे खलक अगे पबरा किसी हुई. Like suppose my example तासुला दरकार है जे 68% of the respondents said that they are disapproved from the administration. मतलब जे यो सर्वे शवे दे suppose अगे के खलक जे दे अगा खपल management ना खुशाल नदी, they are not agreed with the administration या management. नो अगा सूर दी अगा 68% people दी उस देख से डिस्क्रिप्शन न शवे देख से रूल्स न एक्सप्लेन शवी सिर्फ और सिर्फ यो क्वांटिटेटिव टर्म एक्सप्लेन शवे दे 68% ऑफ द पीपल दे आर डिसअप्रूव ऑफ द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. या यो जनरल एग्जांपल जिता सुलबल दर कमा जिता तवायमा सपोज टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ सऊदी अरेबिया. जवायमा सऊदी अरेबिया च कम कल्चर दे या सऊदी अरेबिया कंट्री च कम सोसाइटी दा هغه کې څه رولز فالو کیږي هغه څه ethics لري هغه ethics دي چې کچا غلا وکړه فور ایگزامپل ان any of the person is stealing نو چور چې کوي نو هغه لاسونه څه کوي هغه لاسونه کټ کړي صحیح شو دینه علاوه لیټس سپوز کچا سره ورک پرمټ نه نو دغه څه کوي کنټری لاس دی یا کنټری ethics دی ethics د دې چې هغه فرست درې میاشتې کنټری کې تیری صحیح شو بیا غینه پته ډیپورټ کی اب اٹ مینز what we are doing that we are only describing the ethics the standard the norms in the Saudi Arabia's society no هغه ethics چې کوم کې صرف اور صرف description کی that is simply known as your descriptive ethics or inshallah a bit idea will be clear now we will move to the next slide which is about let me first clear it next slide that is normative ethics if you focus the word normative normative se to normative lafaz pala da clear kai normative aga the way che kam ke standards create ki bia a standard sara comparison ki che aya sizuna according to standards rawan di according to standards rawan nadi if things are with according to standards no bia ko munga wayu yes it is ethical but if things are not according to the standards no bia mun nashu wela it is ethical so normative study ya normative ethics aga investigation de that attempts to reach normative conclusions hat man yo faisla ta clear ke you clear picture tala dar kai conclusions about what things are good or bad or about what actions are right or wrong simply stated it attempts to create moral standards and prescribes not describe it prescribes how people ought to act like as it has to suppose murder is wrong uska yo pura da yo standard de murder is wrong matlab qatl kawal yo ghalat khabar da us yo kas che de yo nafar che kam de aga yo qatl ki if somebody for example murdering up somebody is murdering is it right or is it wrong wale che da yo standard de it is statement lekin da yo das statement that is a standard if the action of the human is according to the standard so that is ethical otherwise it will be unethical so murder is wrong because yo kas murder kare de that is violating the standard us pura violation ki lage so mean the action of the person is wrong so therefore normative ethics se normative ethics yo da se ethics study da che kam ke awal kam che ethnicity thi awoi standard describe ki bia aga standard sara moga khapal actions match ko compare ko bia moga da wayo che aya things are right or aya things are wrong like suppose zata su to wayma che taso class standard che kam de aga 65 de suppose us che de taso actions with according to 65 di no da sidi da ethical di aya dina kam di da unethical di or aya 65 na greater di no that is more ethical di more strong and wicked di dina ilawa yo bal example me more kare de che giving to charity is good matlab khairat workawal che kam de sechula da dira khabara da but not ethically mandatory lekin da zaruri na da lazim na da wajib khabara na da it is overall statement the overall statement that is basically a normative ethics why because charity is good giving charity is good matlab khairat workawal che kam de da yo standard show lekin lazmi na da uska so ki workai well and good ethically sound ka so ki na workai it is not a bad thing well it's mandatory na de lazim na de no it means that a standard is defined ab action is with according to standard no well and good sahi shwa no da mung te yo clear picture ra kai yo result ra gi same is the case of conflict of interest must be handled carefully now hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear now we will move to the next slide me first okay now the third is meta ethics about basically meta ethics if you focus the word meta ka meta mane tasu focus ho kai no meta se to way meta means meaning of something language of something like as tasu to way kana english your language de management zan la your language de age tamu jargon wayu business communication zan la your language de sahi shwa accounting chide aga zan la your jargon your language lari terminologies lari उस दा से दा बेसिकली हर यो चीज सेचुला लॉजिक एक्सप्लेन कई अगेन लैंग्वेज एक्सप्लेन कई like for example the wayama that meta ethics that is the study of the meaning of ethics. It simply means look at the nature of the ethics, that what is the nature of that ethics. What does it mean, nature of that ethics? Nature of that ethics simply means to your car de for example your standard define show de no aya da car wale de so that only explain the concept of why. It means what makes action moral का यो moral action दे नमुंगा वही moral means सही moral means इंशाल्लाह मक्की राजी बिया बते तापला detail के explain कमा that something then action the human action is a moral action. अब why or what the things make it moral, where our ethical principles come from. Like I said, for example, honesty is good. No, honesty is good. Why honesty is good? Wale honesty good दे जितना सोता हुआ must suppose smoking is dangerous to health. अब why it is bad to health? Is it respect the elders? मशरान वो रिस्पेक्ट का वही उस रिस्पेक्ट द एल्डर दैट इज अ गुड एक्शन. लेकिन मेटा एथिक्स दा वही व्हाई रिस्पेक्ट द एल्डर इज अ गुड एक्शन. चा बेसिकली द एक्शन हक करे दे मर्डर इज बैड उस मर्डर चा बैड करे दे व्हाई इट इज. So that is basically explain the logic behind the actions regarding to good, regarding to bad. It simply means कि meta ethics मुंग सरा आगा ethics आगा field दे कि कम के मुंग सिर्फ और सिर्फ दा वयु कि why the word good is really good, why the word bad is really bad, why the things are wrong really in sense of wrongness, and why the things are right. Tashura no right कि मुंग इस्तेमाल. For example, the way ama कि violation of the right is basically not a right thing. दा सही न दे मतलब कि मास रकम रूल्स दी रूल्स न फॉलो कमा दा यो खबर न दा उस वाई दा खबर न दा चावट दा विली दी सेशुरा दा कम जिना डिराइव शेविली. सो दा च कम स्टडी दा that is simply known as your meta ethics. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Now we will move to the next slide. Now our next slide that contains applied ethics. Look at here. By the name it is clear, applied ethics. Numna zahira applied. Applied mean whatever the knowledge, acquired knowledge you have, practically applied within a field. That is simply known as applied ethics. जे कम knowledge mung sara available de we have aga knowledge munga your field ke apply ko, that is simply known as applied ethics. Applied ethics is a discipline, is a branch of philosophy that attempts to apply ethical theory to real life situation. Whatever I told you, that is the same thing, that how do we take moral knowledge and put into practice. It examines specific areas. अब specific areas कम की देशी specific areas च कम दे, that can be business ethics, that can be medical ethics, that can be environmental ethics, that can be political ethics, that can be legal ethics, and so on. If कथा सोते हैं the अवल lecture के I told you कि कम ethics they it is basically not a particular field like finance, like human resource management, like marketing, like quality control management. That is a particular field na de. That is basically a concept, it is a philosophy. That is nazariya da, and this nazariya is applicable everywhere. Us च कम business ethics field de नो आया दा ethics च कम दे दा business ethics field के हम apply की देशी, दा पा medical field के हम apply की देशी, दा पा environmental ethics के हम apply की देशी, दा पा political field के हम apply की देशी, दा पा legal के हम apply की देशी, दा पा accounting के हम apply की देशी, and so on. So if you know that is not limited or bound. उसको रहा select example of this is clear. Come on, when we are talking about business ethics, अब what is business ethics? Business ethics inshallah रवान lecture की वजह से business ethics further clear हम कमा, लेकिन because this is the second lecture सिर्फ जितना सोला idea clear कोमा कि business ethics वही से था. कोना business ethics simply means the human actions, the activities of the humans about right and wrong in the context of the business. Like suppose business के दखल को transactions कि आया सही थी का आया गलत थी. Like suppose जितना हुआ है माँ यो नफर दे hiring a person on gender base, मतलब यो कस दे आगा hiring की यो HR manager दे और manager च कम दे आगा hiring की. अब hiring मयार से दे what is the standard of the hiring, कि the hiring should be on the basis of talent, लेकिन यो कस च कम दे आगा पर gender base माने पर for example पर सेक्स बेस माने हायरिंग की, मतलब यो HR मैनेजर च कम दे अगर सिर्फ और सिर्फ मेल हायर की या सिर्फ और सिर्फ प्रेफरेंस पर कई फीमेल ला नो आया द हायरिंग सही दे नो इट इज नॉट हर राइट हायरिंग. व्हाई? बिकॉज ही इज वायलेटिंग द टैलेंट. सो इट मीन दैट दिस इज एन एक्शन ऑफ अ पर्सन. सही हुआ, and this action of a person is not in the ethical way. अब that is basically comes under the business ethics. Then is medical ethics. Suppose medical ethics. I have, for example, what are the things right and wrong in the field of medical? A lot of things. लेकिन यो example दर को मतलब briefing to the investor. डिब्रीफिंग टू द इन्वेस्टर मतलब दा दे चकोरा कल हम मेडिकल साइंसेस के वैक्सीनेशन दे पारा चकम रिसर्च की एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ रिसर्च सही हुआ नो आगे दे पारा डेफिनेटली डोनर्स चकम दे आगा पैसे इन्वेस्ट की एंड दे आर नोन एज फाइनेंस के दे मुगा इन्वेस्टर्स वयु आस देता डोनर्स वयु उदा कम च डोनर्स ही गोरा देता ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या कम कसन कम डॉक्टरान चे वैक्सीनेशन कई आगे दे पारा रिसर्च कई नो आगा उता मुकम्मल एक्सप्लेनेशन वर्क कई दैट एक्सप्लेनेशन इज नोन एज डिब्रीफिंग मतलब चे आया कम स्टेजेस की लेट सपोज रिसर्च रवाना दा 50 मनी रिसर्च रवाना दा उस पूरे सोरा लेट सपोज कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस दी परफॉर्मेंस सोरा दा खल को सोरा पैसे भी लगी दे द टोटल इंफॉर्मेशन चे कम दे मुगा यू डिब्रीफिंग नो आया डिब्रीफिंग टू द इन्वेस्टर a valid debriefing to the investor aya da khabar da yes it is good that comes under the medical ethics there are so many other things as well lekin kal tak sirf aur tiraf ta yo work out hone touch work koma the next is environmental ethics environmental ethics as I told you in the last lecture to go environmental ethics environmental ethics means that how companies people they can also protect their environment they never protect harm threats to the environment like for example ab yo kisan de सही यो फार्मर दे अगर से बच्चे अगा स्प्रे कई खपल पर फसल के लेकिन दी स्प्रेज आर पेस्टिसाइड्स फ्री फार्मिंग पेस्टिसाइड फ्री फार्मिंग मतलब दा बच्चे चे लेट सपोज दा से हशरात खत्मावलो दे पर दा से स्प्रे इस्तेमाल ही अगा खल को तावान नवर गई मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल ही इज यूजिंग द लेजर टेक्नोलॉजी व्हाई बिकॉज ही इज नॉट प्रोवाइडिंग और शी इज नॉट प्रोवाइडिंग और कंपनीज आर नॉट प्रोवाइडिंग threats to the environment. Then the political ethics. Political ethics means that there are demonstrations and these demonstrations for the right purpose. So it's a violation nahi. The legal ethics, violation of child law, labor law, etc. So that tools are so simply applied ethics concepts. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Now our next slide that is about that what is the material and formal objects of ethics. Now let's start. Object, what does it mean? What is the material object and what is the formal object? Now let me first explain the two terminologies, that what is the material object and what is the formal object. Is it material object today? Material object sit away. Material object simply means that what the thing you want to study, what the content you want to study, what is your actual study. And formal objects say that what are the different perspectives, what are the different angles which you are doing to study. Like this is your example there. Let's take the chemistry or physics or any subject over लेकिन दल सिर्फ जो chemistry रखा just to make your idea clear. और chemistry से chemistry मुझे सारा यो subject है. उस केमिस्ट्री के मुंगा से स्टडी को केमिस्ट्री के मुंगा मोस्ट कम दे केमिकल स्टडी को अब केमिकल्स दैट से दी केमिकल्स मुंग सारा मटेरियल ऑब्जेक्ट्स दी दीज आर द रियल थिंग्स व्हिच वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी लेकिन व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी इन फॉर्मल ऑब्जेक्ट इन केमिस्ट्री उस दे चिकम केमिकल्स दी व्हेन वी आर फॉर एग्जांपल एडिंग टू डिफरेंट केमिकल्स या टू डिफरेंट सब्सटेंसेस नो दे हम रिएक्शन कई और रिएक्शन के मुंग यो नवे चीज मिलावेगी the reaction che come that is known as the formal object. So that is known as the perspective. Same is the case. Din ilawa bio de ab bio che de biology che varta vayu sahi hua ab bio ke what we are doing to study bio ke munga living things study ko sahi hua living things that is the living thing sahi hua jandar che come that is known as material object in the study of bio, while formal objects say the characteristics of those material objects, actually living things, that is known as formal object. अब same is the case of ethics. उस ethics चे कम subject से आया दे material object कम यो दे. No ethics material object चे दे आगा human दे इंसान. और ethics के जमुंग formal object से दे जमुंग formal object चे दे आगा human action सी, आगोई moral standards सी. अगो values थी अगो output थे जो आया things are right or things are wrong 10 स्लाइड चले सिर्फ और सिर्फ अंदे बारह के The further explanation next slide ki main kade hum de, it will make your idea more clear right now. Let me explain. Look at here. What is the object of the study in ethics? As I told you, Chigora ethics ke object material today, object material chikamde, that is human, insan de. While a formal object today, the moral values of the action se. Matlab simply the level of goodness and the level of badness. Simply that is the study. Now in this slide we are going to discuss the aims of the ethics. Aida come to ethics munga wayu the main hadaf se objectives is. There are so many objectives that is simple on a slide there. जब कोशिश कोमा चे डायरेक्टली यो एग्जांपल सर तासुला क्लियर कमा चे इट मेक योर आइडिया मोर क्लियर. नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट. Our net objective way. Our net objective way to help the individual to understand basic principles of ethics. It simply means ethics main hadaf se de, ethics main hadaf da de chida khalq chikam de, individual nafar chikam di, society chikam da the ethics basic principles na khabar shi. It simply means that the people should understand about the basic concepts of ethics. Like what are the basic concepts? Go ahead. Har yo sis chide aga zanda yo rule lari, yo principles lari. Like suppose zamung jon chide aga pa yo common beliefs mane yo main principles usulu mane munga jon tero. Like for example, being as a Muslim, no dama principle sade zama principle da de chide 5 times a day pray okama. Teshura mata insaniyat humanity da way chi insaf chide aga khade, justice is good. Mata khalaq da way, society da way chi honesty is best policy. Matlab che kam for example honesty da, imandari da dira khada. Khalqu sara ta'awun kawal to help other people, that is good. These are known as what? These are known as the basic pillars. No, awal ethics understanding awal aim da de che khalko tha clear shi aga totally principles of ethics che kam mane jwant teregi. That is the first objective. Second thing, to help the individuals gain some practical knowledge about self and about different ethical issues. Ab second objective se second objective da de the ethics che aya khalq che kam de awu sara knowledge rashi, that people should acquire the knowledge about themselves and about the different ethical issues. What does it mean? About themselves means that the people should understand clear their self-understanding about right and wrong. Matlab suppose uska sok mata wahi che Mr. Adil to smoking hoga. Ab I should know that smoking is either good to the health or not good to the health. I know that smoking is not good to the health. No, the maturity, the self-understanding ma ki sanga ragalade. Definitely just because of the understanding of the ethics. Which is among society ki ethics study, the among society ki principles study. Again mane munga explanation ko. And about different ethical issues. Ab different ethical issues mean at the different levels of issues. Matlab at the different level means at the individual level ethics sanga follow ki. At the cultural level ethics sanga follow ki, at the group level ethics sanga follow ki, at organization level ethics sanga follow ki, at the society level ethics sanga follow ki. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Now in the next slide, the next is let me explain. To obtain true and systematic knowledge of upright and authentic human behavior based on universal principles. It simply means, suppose again maga khabara tha there are some universal principles. Ab whatever our actions are, our action must be according to those universal principles. Like suppose your example mein likha lehta sula, if we murder or blame someone, ethically it is bad, the ya yo gunah da, it's a sin, because upon the universal principle it is not sound. Like as for example yo kas murder okama, the ya yo kas chede blame koma, I'm blaming a person. Why I am blaming a person? Was this blame correct? Ab da side da yo universal principle follow kai lage? No, not follow kai lage. It means that our study must be systematic knowledge. It must be systematic knowledge aga the way the body of knowledge. Matlab yo da se knowledge jaga pa series ke rawani. Aga yo continuous jumps ki rawani. Matlab for example, masharan wai che murder kha khabar na da chok wai da masharan wai. Agu te sanga pata da wali jagoi masharan wili di. Agu te sanga pata da agoi masharan wili di. Agu te sanga pata munta Islam wili di. Teshwa هغه ته څنګه نور خلکو ته څنګه پته ولې خلکو لیدل دي چې چا مرډر کړی دی نو هغه ډېر سخت سزا ملاوي شوې ده. It means that there is a systematic knowledge. We have some principles, we have some rules, we have some guidelines. Upon this clear, we are going to judge the actions about the right or wrongness. The next, that is to establish a series of norms and criteria for judging humans. उस ethics غټ هدف دا دی چې ethics څه کوي؟ ethics چې دی judgment کوي، د خلکو action judgment کوي. دلته یو لفظ لیکلی دی that here I should mention that judging the human actions. Is it? Now what does it mean? Let me explain. The highlight key na lage, I don't know why. Okay, what does it mean? It means let me explain this example. Yeah, your examples are explained کوم تاسو idea په مکمل clear شي. Suppose زه تاسو ته وایم چې دوه ورونه دي Mr. A او Mr. B. Mr. A is more systematic. Mr. A چې کوم دی هغه ډیر زیات organize ورکه صحیح وړ ډیر زیات systematic ده، ډیر زیات socialize هم ده، ډیر well disciplined ده. او کوم چې فور ایگزامپل وات ایور پیسې چې ورته ورکوي نو پیسې چې کوم دی منی چې کوم دی هغه یوټیلایزیشن هغه استعمال چې دی ډیر په طریقې ډیر په شعور سره کوي. لیکن Mr. B چې کوم دی هغه داسې نه ده. Mr. B چې کوم دی هغه هوایي سړی دی، مطلب he is not well organized چې پیسې ورته ورکې نو عیاشي کې دغه کې ولګي. اب let's suppose تاسو سره څه پیسې دي. اب which person to whom you have to select to give money? Definitely to Mr. A. Why? Mr. A is more systematic. تاسو ته پته ده د کمی پیسې چې Mr. A له ورکوم نو دا Mr. A چې دی دا به خامخا د پیسو ښه استفاده کوي، ښه ځکه به استفاده کوي او ښه په طریقه به استفاده کوي. اوس تاسو دا څنګه جج کړله؟ How you judge this human act just because of a series of the norms, series of the actions which were performed by A, and that series of the norms were that A was systematic, A was socialized, A was well organized, and A was well disciplined. And A was good in the utilization of money. Therefore, upon these series of judgments, these series you have judged the human action, and then you decide, you make a choice. So that is the main aim of the ethics. The ethics come de da de khalko actions per money munga la judgment rakai. That is the main objective. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Next, we are going to move to study the basic truth about the human nature in order to discover the best and the most common truths about the human person. A very common, the total way, study the common traits of community, people. We can easily develop a marketing strategy. सादा होने example है, मतलब कि यो community दा, यो society दा, यो organization चले, यो company ची कमदा, अल्ता for example, अखबार product launch कवल हुआड़ी या अल्ता चले, अल्ता selling कवल हुआड़ी. नो selling दे पारा ज़रूरी से दा, selling दे पारा ज़रूरी दा दा, कि आया दे community common traits से दी. Suppose, उस take the example of Eastern country. Eastern country के let's suppose अफगानिस्तान वाले, इंडिया वाले, श्रीलंका वाले, चलो इंडियन बरा वाले बोले कि इंडियन पॉपुलेशन वाइड ढेर ज़्यादा थी, सही हो. अब इंडियन चिकमा कम्युनिटी दा या इंडियन चिकमा सोसाइटी दा दलते चिकम हम बिजनेस रसी या कंपनी रची, सही हो ला. Whatever the company they are investing in the society of India, या community of India, सही हो ला. अब वही तब पता दा that the common trait of the buying behavior of the Indian society is that they mostly buy upon a single trait. Or ultimately that single trait is the discount. जिस संग अस्तासो the strategy discount apply कई नो खलक चू की खलक अल्तना buying कई कवल वाड़ी या buying कई ज़्यादा. It means the common trait that the Indian society. हालांकि दा टोटल society दा लेकिन Indian चूँकि population ज़्यादा थे अल्ता चिकम living standard दे अगर low दे नो company से कई company अगर community trait common trait कोरी. कि आया कम यो दासे trait कम यो दासे quality भी कि दे buying behavior वो सेवाशी and that is discount. सही हुआ. डेल अल्टरनेटिव मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटजी वर्क हो आगा कॉमन ट्रेड न फॉलो कीजिए लेकिन यो डिस्काउंट जो वर्क है डिस्काउंट पर डेफिनेटली ऑर्गेनाइज खलक चिकम दे आगा ज़्यादा न ज़्यादा बाइंग की. सो दैट इज आल्सो एन ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ योर एथिक्स. नेक्स्ट इज एस्टैब्लिशिंग गाइडलाइन प्रिंसिपल्स और गाइडिंग प्रिंसिपल्स दैट फैसिलिटेट लाइफ इन अ कम्युनिटी. सिंपली लाइफ ऑफ अ कम्युनिटी इज डिस्ट्रॉयड इन अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज. सही हुआ. एंड आई होप इंशाल्लाह अ बिट आइडिया विल बी क्लियर. Now, ethics can be divided into two. Journal on slide say, generally, at the broad sense, ethics chide padwa baksho ke taksim shawede. One is known as general ethics and another is known as social ethics. With general ethics is the basic principle regarding the morality of human acts. Example, the last end of men, the moral law, the conscience, the sin, and the virtue. General ethics, that is totally about the morality of human acts. Morality of human acts mean that human actions about the badness or goodness, rightness or wrongness. आया इंसान चिकम action दे सही आगे चिकम means दी आया अगर सही दी अगर सही न दी इंसान moral law follow कई का moral law न follow कई आगे ज़मीर से वही आगे ता गुनाह करे दे कि न दे करे आगे चिकम यो हक qualities दी virtues mean hak qualities, best qualities. सही शो that is relevant to the general ethics. Second बख्श चिकम दे that is about the social ethics. Social ethics simply mean it applies the previous mentioned principles of the life of a man as a member of a society. Simply means whatever we have applied sciences, applied ethics, whatever the ethical theories, ethical concepts we have, we should apply clear on a society. The overall life overall principle, ethics principles, the munga your community ke, your society ke, sanga apply. So that was a bit clear in the second lecture. Thank you so much.